Okay, everybody, we are back, and welcome to part two and the final part of the films of 1997 that I own. So, continuing on from where we left off at, Con Air, one of my personal, pretty much my second favorite action film of all time behind The Rock. Love Nicolas Cage, great cast as well. You have Nicolas Cage, John Cusack, John Malkovich as your villain. You have Steve Buscemi, Ving Rhames, directed by Simon West, who went on to do uh, Lara Croft Tomb Raider, Expendables 2, The General's Daughter with John Travolta. I think this is his best film, though, Con Air. And speaking of Nicolas Cage, here we go again. Face Off. Very solid movie by John Woo. John Travolta and Nicolas Cage. You also have Joan Allen from Manhunter. I mean, what more can you say? I want to take his face off. Ooh wee, I'm good looking. Air Force One with Harrison Ford. Definitely one of my personal favorite Harrison Ford movies. Get off my plane, and just kicks Gary Oldman right off the plane. Great movie, Air Force One. Good Burger, which I know this just came out on Blu-ray. I want to get the Blu-ray at some point. Another film that I grew up with in the '90s, Good Burger. Conspiracy Theory, very solid Richard Donner film with Mel Gibson and Julia Roberts. You also have Patrick Stewart in the film as well. And I just showed this in the last video I did for the Stallone Marathon, but Stallone Collection. But I'm going to show it again because it did come out in '97. Copland. Easily one of Stallone's most underrated movies. I love this movie. Great cast. You know, Harvey Keitel, Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro, Peter Berg, Janine Garofalo, Robert Patrick, Michael Rappaport, Annabella Sciorra, and of course Stallone. Directed by James Mangold. Excellent film, Copland. And speaking of Blu-ray, this is soon coming out to Scream Factory Blu-ray, which I can't wait for. Event Horizon. Definitely one of the scariest films I've seen. I think it's really one of the most creepiest films out there. Sam Neill and Lawrence Fishburne. You also have Kathleen Quinlan in there as well. Directed by Paul Anderson, who went on to do the Resident Evil movies. This movie here. Steel with Shaq. Of course, based on the comic book. Not a great movie, but it's a guilty pleasure. Judd Nelson is your villain. You also have Annabeth Gish, who is sort of the ally of Shaquille O'Neal. Now, this right here is an underrated gem, in my opinion. G.I. Jane. Fantastic film with Demi Moore. One of the Ridley Scott films that never gets brought up. You also have Anne Bancroft, Viggo Mortensen. Love this movie, G.I. Jane. Of course, Mimic, Mira Sorvino, Josh Brolin, F. Murray Abraham, Charles S. Dutton. Love the idea of a creature feature film being taken place in a subway. I always thought that was such a cool idea for a creature feature movie. And ironically enough, I know that came out around the same time as The Relic. So, excuse me, I apologize for the burp. Money Talks. This is a really fun buddy movie with Chris Tucker and Charlie Sheen. You also have Heather Locklear. This is just a fun, insane buddy movie. I would say Steven Seagal's second to last great movie, Fire Down Below. I know this was a big flop at the box office, I know that, but I enjoy this film. Harry Dean Stanton, Stephen Lang, Chris Christopherson. The Game by David Fincher. Love the steelbook of this. I think probably David Fincher's... I would say this or Zodiac is his most underrated movie. I love The Game. Michael Douglas and Sean Penn are excellent in the film. Really hard film to explain, but look up the plot and you'll know what the movie's about. Of course, Wishmaster holding us up in this double pack, but the first Wishmaster, one of the 90s horror films that I feel like doesn't get brought up that much. You hear about like Candyman and Scream, but no one really brings up Wishmaster that much. And Andrew Divoff as the Wishmaster is great. Tony Todd is also in the film. Kane Hodder, Robert Englund, Tammy Lauren. The Devil's Advocate with Keanu Reeves and Al Pacino. You also have Charlize Theron, Jeffrey Jones, Craig T. Nelson. Solid movie. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Not as good as Scream, but I still think it's a solid movie. Definitely more of a thriller, sort of like mystery version of Scream, but with, I wouldn't probably say that, but like, because Scream was a mystery as well, but that was more, this is definitely more of a thriller rather than a slasher, even though there is a couple bodies in here, but it's definitely not like a body count like Scream or anything like that, but I like this movie. I didn't care for the sequels, though. Now, this right here is a really underrated movie. Not many people know about it, but Mad City. Now, the story with Mad City is that you have John Travolta plays a guy who works as a security guard at this museum, and he gets let go from his job, and he tries to get his job back from, I think, his boss, played by Blythe Danner from Meet the Parents and a lot of other stuff. And she's chaperoning these kids on a field trip to the museum, and John Travolta takes them hostage with this shotgun to get his job back. At the same time, you have this reporter in the bathroom, Dustin Hoffman, who kind of befriends John Travolta and kind of forms this relationship with him, this friendship. And, like, it's being televised everywhere. And, I mean, just look up the plot and you'll get what I mean. But it's a solid movie. The Jackal. A Bruce Willis film that doesn't get brought up that much, with him and Richard Gere, Sidney Poitier. Pretty much Bruce Willis is an assassin, and Sidney Poitier, who works for the FBI, gets the help of, enlists the help of Richard Gere, who used to be an Irish terrorist. And he helps out the FBI track down Bruce Willis. So, Good Will Hunting. I showed this recently in the update that I did. I mean, what more can I say? Now, this one I'm holding up for, of course, Scream 2, because Scream 2 was 97. There you go, Scream 2. Not as good as the first one, but I still like the Scream. But I like all the Screams. But I would say Scream 2 is a step down from the first one, but I still like Scream 2. And the last one that I have here to show you guys that I have from 1997 is Jackie Brown. Easily, I'd probably say Quentin Tarantino's most underrated movie. Really great cast as well in here. You have, Pam Grier, Sam Jackson, Robert Forster, may he rest in peace, Bridget Fonda, Michael Keaton, Robert De Niro. Fantastic cast. And that's pretty much all the films that I have from 1997. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.